So while we're all dealing with the harsh cold of the winter weather, or really end of fall weather, that at least where I am, it feels like winter, and I'm wrapped up in a blanket and enjoying some very fun painting, I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about things that you can get for the techies in your life come Black Friday / Cyber Monday. So before we get into the list that I have, don't forget to like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, link is down below to the merch store. Go get some great merch. That could also be a good present for your tech friends. So I'll do my very best here to try and hit what I think are just most techies. There's a little bit here for everybody from beginner to master, even just to straight just nerd. It's pretty darn good if I do say so myself. We're starting with this retro pixel art game Bluetooth speaker. Currently it is $80 and there are a few settings and it is controllable through your phone. And this could just be a nice little thing to have on your desk that looks kind of cute, or it could be like an alarm clock for you at your bed or near your computer, so you know that, hey, I've been gaming for 5 hours. I probably should go like see my wife or whatever significant other you have, and make sure that they're not going to kill me in my sleep tonight. Next up, we got this Blue Yeti Nano for currently it's $70, which is $20 off. It might be a little cheaper come Black Friday again. This is a couple days early, so I don't know what pricing they're gonna be on Black Friday. But the Blue Yeti Nano is a superb microphone from Blue, and quite honestly, they really did amazing with this budget streaming mic. You could also use this for just normal gaming and have pretty good. You do have to remember though, and they are very stressful about this, that when you're using it, you talk into the front, not the top, but the front of the mic. They're very specific about that. I think the last time that I saw some of their literature in this on these they were a little particular about it. Next is this Razer audio mixer. There are a couple others like it, say like the Go XLR Mini, and probably a few others that I've now been noticing come out of the woodwork. Does pretty darn good in terms of audio mixing, and it does some stuff that, if I'm remembering correctly from the things that I've seen about this, that Elgato does really well with their software. So it's kind of like a little bit of a mix of a Go XLR and an Elgato, which is really nice. And it is using Razer Synapse, so take that as you will on how you enjoy the Razer Synapse app. Next is the Corsair 4000D Airflow. Corsair's 4000D line, or 4000 in general, has been a very substantial case in terms of popularity throughout the computer aspect. Not just because it has amazing airflow, thus the airflow tag, but you can put a lot into this. And quite honestly, Corsair being Corsair, make sure that they can really give you a lot for your money, because Corsair, they're worth it. Next is the Razer Huntsman Mini 60%. This is currently $50 off, and because I am a great person like this, I use Honey, just because I like to see how long they've had this sale going on. Look at that. It started yesterday. Till then, I guess it wasn't on here, but it started yesterday. This is pretty darn good, and even from the price that they saw last, which was $109, $110 we'll say, this is still $30 less than that. You are getting a lot of savings here. Not everybody likes 60%, and I understand that, and not everybody likes the same switches. Some of the switches are a little cheaper, some of the switches are a little more expensive. You do need to be careful of that. But general rule of thumb with the keyboards, cheaper that they're going to be, usually the bigger they are, just because they're more commonly used. Smaller keyboards aren't as common, so they're going to be a little more expensive. It's general rule of thumb, not a almighty rule that will always be true. Next is the Elgato Stream Deck Mark II. I have purchased a variation of this. It's my 32 key, like it says. This is honestly a really great thing for those that are content creators, streamers, or somebody that really just needs macro keys. This can be used from just very specific items or very specific aspects of your computer to everyday life. For instance, I use it very heavily when I'm editing these videos. I use a lot of cuts, I use a lot of transitions, and that's how I can make this a little more streamlined and a little quicker when I'm doing this. Now, this does also come in different forms. For instance, there is a 6 key if you don't really need that many, and it is still cheaper, but it's not on sale because it is a very more budget option. There is also the 32 key, which is one I use. I would say unless you're really sure that you're gonna need these many buttons, don't get it. Next is what I would consider one of the staples in most gamer setups is the Logitech G502. The only difference in most others is this one is wireless. Most others would probably get the wired one because it's half the price, even right now, because it is also on sale. There's your hint for you guys. If you want to save even more money, get the wired one. It is still a magnificent one. This is one of the best mice ever made. Logitech knows it, Razer knows it, Corsair knows it. They all know it. It's why everybody copies it. Sorry. Facts. This one has the Logitech Lightspeed Wireless, which means it is very great at keeping a reliable, and I will use some of their terminology here because I do agree with it. I have used this. I have daily run this. It is a very reliable 1 millisecond response time from here to the computer in terms of mouse reaction. This is mostly done because the sensor on this mouse is very impressive. Also, you can also get the little wireless charging pad called PowerPlay, this little here, and you can wirelessly charge this with that, and you never have to charge it ever again, which is one of the big caveats for most people that are getting a wireless mouse. It is one of the reasons I am still sad that I switched off the G502 to other mice, but I can live with it, and you can too. Right now, the Ryzen 5 5600, which is last gen Ryzen, is currently on sale for $128. Now, it might not be the lowest it's ever gotten if you consider eBay prices, but it is done really well. It has gotten as low as $117, so it's a little bit of a high pick here, but for the most part, it's gotten really close to this price a lot, mostly because Ryzen 5000 series is last gen, which means this is a great time to get into this, to get this processor, because I have used this 5600 and it's amazing. Honestly, more than most gamers need, and even some beginning content creators. Next is the Samsung 980 SSD. This is not an Evo, however, it is still PCIe 3.0. And it is an NVMe SSD. This is a 1 terabyte SSD, like I said. Does pretty good in terms of speed. And the price, look at that, 80 bucks. NVMe SSD, and it is by Samsung, so I'm going to give that it's gonna have some good quality with it. This is one of those things that I come across that looks really cool. My dad got into this a little bit, and it's just gotten my interest a little. This is the Fuku 1080p 7-inch wireless backup camera system that has a front-facing camera and a back-facing camera, and it looks like it's gonna be a wireless setup from what I can tell here. Yeah, it would be a wireless setup. You can charge it by hardwire or by car charger. My dad uses the car charger just because it's a little more simple for most others. Same with this. This, I would say, it should only ever be done like this. If you want to try it any other way, you're on your own. I don't think any of the companies recommend it. For the back one, we had to connect it to one of the rear lights. I can't remember which one. It probably says it in the instructions. So, however, I don't know if they're all like that, and I am very out of my element when it comes to these, but I do know a lot of people are looking for backup or cameras on their own so they can record when people are being a little silly on the road. And this is the Drop mechanical keyboard. This is their 65% keyboard. It has programmable macros, has some RGB going on, some USB-C for the connection, and Drop is a really good brand when it comes down to quality. Look at that, comes with the keycap puller as well as the switch puller and a very nice Type-C cord to Type-A USB. This is their bare bones edition, which is why it's a little cheaper. It comes in a gray or a black for about the same price. And if you want to get it fully kitted out, it will be a bit more. And by a bit, I mean a little bit. It's a 50 bucks more, which isn't too bad all considering, because you get decent switches and very, very nice keycaps, because drop keycaps are perfection. Next is this nice little desktop power grommet. I got this just because I think it might help some of you guys who have a little bit of what I would call clutter in terms of power when it comes to everything that needs to be here. So this could help if you have something that you need to charge really quickly, like say your phone, and you don't want to leave. For instance, I do have on my desk a little wireless charger. That would be nice to just plug it in right here and just not have to worry about it taking up more power off my computer. But this is one of those things that's a little bit give and take. You might like this idea, you might hate this idea. You don't have to agree. Here is the Sunfounder Raspberry Pi Ultimate Starter Kit. And boy, did they get you really on the Ultimate Starter Kit. There is just everything here. Like speakers, little word stuff going here, number pad, just everything that you can really do that would give you a basic understanding in terms of what a Raspberry Pi can do. And in all honesty, if you know what a Raspberry Pi is and you've been in tech space long enough, you know that it can do just about anything. There are people that run computers off Raspberry Pis, entire entertainment systems off of Raspberry Pis, because they are just that smart. I am not that level yet, but boy do I want to be. This does come with a 45 video course as well as some online tutorials to give you from a little bit of experience with the Raspberry Pi to just basically everything you need to know to be able to do whatever you want with it. Even comes with a camera. That's actually really cool. Resistors, diodes, LEDs, jump wires, audio cable, photoresistors, capacitors. It has everything that you need to get a very good understanding of tech. I don't know how well child-friendly this could be. I doubt it is, but it definitely is one of those things that if you're looking into getting into tech stuff and this hits your fancy as somebody that likes to do things by hand, this is probably a really good start. This is the Keychron K8 10 keyless layout. It has an RGB hot swappable Bluetooth wireless mechanical motherboard. Gabby motherboard, technically. Comes with Gateron red switches, Type-C, which is again just my favorite cable. It also comes in brown and blue Gateron optical switches. And again, these are hot swappable, which is just that little bit of added touch by Keychron to allow you to make your own choices when it comes to how you like your keyboard is really nice, and for a very affordable price. Even when it's not on sale, that's an affordable price. And look at that RGB, it's not ungodly, but it just gives that nice little ambiance. If you're somebody that tends to lose a lot of screws when it comes to when you're building computers, or you're like me and you tend to take apart computers a lot, having some replacement screws around is a nice thing, and boy did they do us a favor. There is every kind of screw in here that you would need for almost every type of computer. I think the only thing that you would need is to get some Loctite blue so that you can make sure that it gets nice little lock thread there. They also do have multiple sets for those that are a little worse than me. And this is also one of those things that I think would be a great buy for those that really want to get into this. I know I do. This is a beginner soldering kit that I found for usually 50 bucks. It's $5 off, which isn't too much, but every little bit helps. Comes with 6 different heads, a little suction cup for the solder, pliers, wrench, the entire soldering kit, which also has these little helping hands, as they call them, and the solder itself, which I think does have some flux in it, but I'm not positive. I do want to get into this, and this is something I've really wanted to get into. There are a few people that have videos on reviewing this. I am looking into doing that. It's just I don't have a lot of room, so I don't know where I would be able to put this without making it slightly dangerous for the cats in my life, because I have so many. Well, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Did I miss anything? Did I, like, not hit something that you were really worried about getting for Black Friday? Leave it down below. Tell me what it was. And also, let everybody else know what you think a lot of tech users would love to see. Because let me tell you, there's so many categories, it's not even funny. Because that was hard to try and narrow down as much as I could to a not too long of a video. I will pin any comment that I think is really important for those, especially if you leave a link and I find the link to not be erroneous. But thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Also, link is down below to the merch store. Go get some great merch. If you guys enjoyed this video, why don't you guys go check out the video I did on the RTX 4090 about if you should honestly buy this right now, or if you should wait a little bit to get really any other graphics card, because it's not as clear cut as you would think. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and have a good day.